Is that a good way to diversify then?
It is, because it's not tied to the market.
Talk about what some of the companies say are rare coins and what are actually rare coins.
Sure, yeah. There's kind of a misnomer out there where there's these mints, usually the Royal Canadian Mint, that makes these kind of odd coins like polar bear coins or Arctic monkey coins, and they make them in limited amounts, and they sell them as these very rare special coins, when in fact they're not special or rare at all. If we're talking about real numismatic coins, real coins that hold their value over time, we're talking about the older pre-1933 gold coins. This is a perfect example right here. The old $20 bills, the old $10 bills, right? 100 years ago, they weren't paper money. It was a half ounce of gold was a $10 bill, and just under a 1 ounce gold coin was a $20 bill. So those are the real numismatic coins that investors should be focusing on, not the newly minted bullion coins that they make nowadays.
Yeah, and they typically will sell, they'll be like a strange size.
Yes,
right? It'll be like 1.5 ounce of silver, 1/4 ounce of silver, sizes that aren't normal.
Yes.
And these are the coins that you do want to be careful of. Now, even buying numismatics, like what we're going to talk about today, this also you want to be careful, because there are stuff that's out there that just doesn't really have much value or that much desire to it. But then you hear about things that actually have rarity. But yeah, let's just go through. We have a few things here that we got, and then we'll talk about this coin collection, this $100 million coin collection. So I just pulled out a few things that we've sold and we've had, and what we got here is, this is a cool story. This is the Carson City Morgan dollar, and tell us about Josh. Tell us about how this kind of came about. This coin, for investors.
This is a really cool story, real cool piece of American history here. So the Carson City Mint was only making coins for a few years, and most of the coins that they made were never actually put into circulation. So they sat in big bags, big coin bags in the vault at the mint. And when they shut the mint down and they stopped using these silver coins as money, they had a huge hoard of them, and they decided to sell them to the public. This was back in the early 70s. And they were basically an ad in the back of a newspaper where the mint was selling these directly to the public.
And these coins were 100 years.
Yes.
80, 90-year-old coins.
That's
right?
exactly
and
right.
So basically what happened was, in the early 70s, they realized that they still had this silver that they didn't know about.
Yes.
And it never made it out of the vaults.
That's correct.
And so they decided to put them in these, grade them and put them in these unbelievable cases. So they're in unbelievable condition. And they come with a certificate of authenticity. And it actually has a quote from Nixon on the top here. And these we have available.
Yes, absolutely.
And very desirable. And you were saying, how much were these, like 10 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, when I started here almost 10 years ago, they were $100, maybe $200 each, and now we're looking at $400, maybe $500, depending on the year, depending on the grade.
So it's a cool piece of history, and the Carson City Mint, and this time period when these coins came back, this was like the Wild Wild West, right? I mean, this was like every Western movie. So it's like owning a piece of history, but it's in unbelievable condition. Which is important. Condition matters when you're buying rare coins. So this is a really cool. So I would say this is kind of a starter, like place for silver for someone to get into. And this is a very popular, Morgan dollar is a very popular coin.
Absolutely, one of my favorites. One of the best designs I think we've ever made.
Yeah. So this is something that's available for people, is the Morgan dollar here. So we have that, and then let's go to some of the gold coins that you have there.
Yes. Yeah. So these are very neat as well. So as I was referring to earlier, the old $20 100 years ago, if you had a $20 bill, it wasn't a $20 bill. It was a 1 ounce gold coin. Okay. That says $20 on it. And part of the reason why people started using paper money, right, is because they got people to use certificates that were redeemable in gold. So 100 years ago, I could have a gold certificate that I would bring into any bank, and the bank would hand me one of these, right? And that's how they kept everybody honest. And the price of gold didn't fluctuate. It didn't go up from, it was pegged at $20 an ounce from 1776 to 1933. It was the exact same amount per ounce. So we made these gold coins for the entire duration of that time. And a lot of them were melted down and maybe or maybe not put into Fort Knox, right? Nobody really knows. But the patriots at the time held on to these, right? I mean, real Americans held on to their gold coins because they knew exactly what was going to happen once the government took them away, right? The prices were going to skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit later with the person who had the gold hoard that's been collecting gold coins since World War I.
Why did I invest in gold? That's a no-brainer. I work hard for my family, my children's future, my retirement. That's what it's all about. But I could lose everything overnight. The bubble burst, Black Monday, COVID, we've seen it happen way too many times. And gold is the only asset that survived all of those disasters. So the question isn't, should we invest in gold? The question is, who do we invest with? Now, trust me, I called about 20 different gold companies. Noble Gold Investments not only answered all of my questions objectively and patiently, but they were the only gold company to offer information to help me make better decisions. I invested just the minimum amount to start. You know, I just wanted to feel them out a little bit, but Noble Gold Investments went out of their way to make me feel like a multi-million-dollar investor. The paperwork took less than 5 minutes. I get regular updates, and they're still answering my phone calls. Nowadays, it is so hard to find a US-based company like Noble Gold Investments. So if you want my advice, here it is. Don't just invest in gold, invest with Noble Gold.
For your free Noble Gold Investments guide, visit noblegoldinfo.com.
And got the info on how to invest, making sure your choices are always the best. From bullion to coins, they'll put you to the test. With knowledge and guidance, you'll be impressed. Give me the gold, the glitter, the shine, building up my fortune 1 ounce at a time. Future secure